Hello everyone and welcome to BI Kelsey's new Analyst Brief series. I'm Mike Boland, I'm an analyst with BI Kelsey, and the goal of this video series is to really break down complicated subjects or emerging areas of media and technology in under 5 minutes. So today we'll be covering deep linking, and this is a topic being discussed a lot in the tech world, but what is it exactly and how does it impact local media and advertising? So first, as background, deep linking has really been compelled by the app-heavy environment that we now live in. So users aren't entering connected experiences through the browser as much as they did on the desktop. Nielsen actually reports that 84% of mobile minutes are now spent in-app. So through that, search is really being displaced to some degree as the front door. And that's simply because apps are already siloed into neat little buckets, so they don't need a search index as much. So that's the background, and that's where we are now. But one big challenge architecturally is that apps aren't as connected or interoperable as the web. They're more fragmented and aren't as tied together by links. And that's where deep linking comes in. It's really the effort to make apps more interoperable and linked. And this takes many specific forms. So let's say you're looking for a restaurant in a local search app. When you find one, deep linking lets you either click once to be brought deep within the Open Table app or similar to make a reservation, or it will pull in Open Table functionality to the app you're already in. So in either of those scenarios, the point is that it avoids manually tapping in and out of apps and then researching, searching once again, for that same restaurant within Open Table. So it surfaces the content deep within another app, hence the name deep linking. So who's working on this? One example is Button. It's practicing a highly customized form of deep linking by working with app developers. For example, it brought Uber functionality inside of Foursquare, so you can summon a ride when you're in the mode of finding a local bar or restaurant in Foursquare. There's also Verb, an app that brings together several disparate apps under one roof. So for example, the process of going to a dinner and a movie typically involves messaging, Google Maps, perhaps Fandango, Yelp. And if you think about it, that's a lot of clicking in and out of apps. So Verb brings them together in what we like to call a hub app. Now, speaking of which, Google's answer to this overall challenge is Google Now, which it wants to be kind of the mother of all hub apps. So for example, by pulling in data from email and calendar and maps and weather, Google Now can tell me that my flight is on time, it's going to rain, there's road construction. So based on all that, I should leave 20 minutes earlier and take this alternative route to the airport. So this mostly includes Google's own apps, but its newest effort is actually called Now on Tap, which opens this up for third-party apps to get pulled into Google Now, and it makes it more in the spirit of deep linking. And this is especially important for Google because the trend I mentioned earlier. Less browser access actually harms Google in the ways I described earlier. So this is Google's way to really live in this new app-based world by tapping into apps in the same way it spent much of the last decade indexing the web. Now, winding down here, the reason this is all important is the impact on local businesses. It's no longer just about SEO and websites, but being present in the apps that are being deep linked. It's no longer just about listings and display ads, but being able to have deeper transactional functionality like buttons to buy something, or set an appointment, or call a business, and lots of other app functionality that will surface in these deep linking scenarios. So there's of course a lot more to it, but that's the quick version, and we'll have a lot more detail in our upcoming white paper on the next era of local search and discovery. So this has been a BI Kelsey Analyst Brief. I'm Mike Boland. Thank you for listening.